night, return of the day. Lost for words, not enough to say. Oh, a misplaced piece of the puzzle will lay on this ride. A daylight shines through broken glass. Trust has dwindled through the hands of broken past. And only love can make memories last on this ride. And watch me lose you on this envy ride for two. I can't hide from the night. I'd rather hang on for the ride. Feeling your body cling to me, searching for reasons to believe. Oh, I'm letting your breath be the only breeze on this ride. Sipping my bottles of red wine, losing a shadow, lost in time. I wonder what makes this angel fly. On this ride I get so high. And watch me lose you on this envy ride for two. I can't hide from the night. I'd rather hang on for the ride. Feeling your hair tangled around my hand. I'd like to discover this new land without reasons to reprimand on this ride. Oh, let it begin again, let it begin again, let it begin tonight. Oh, just let it begin again, let it begin again. I can do it all night. Watch me lose you on this envy ride for two. I can't hide from the night. I'd rather hang on for the ride. And watch me, oh, I'll lose you on this envy ride for two. I can't hide, oh, from the night. I'd rather hang on for the ride. Yeah. Hang on for the You have failed me for the last time. This last straw breaks my back. This is the end. I've given up. Nothing left to do but rot in hell. Torn apart by vultures. Scavengers circle in to expose their vicious ways. Dagger-like teeth grin. Bastard! You are the cause of all my rage. And soon the things I know crash down. What the fuck? I'm still there with nothing left. You expect him not to fly off the fucking edge. I feel I've lived 1,000 lives. I feel I've died as many times. I feel I've lived 1,000 lives. I feel I've died as many fucking times. a beat last night in the rain. He means to set things right since the day that he can't go. He can't go. Sarah said she had enough. Gone were days when she was tough. Now she can't go. She can't go. Some people stumble and they wonder why they start to bleed. Some people crumble, never asking what the hurt means. I bet they're chasing the things they don't need. Mike can't get unbroken. Thinks he's worth less than a subway token. All his questions left unspoken since the day that he can't go. He can't go. Some people stumble, then they're surprised when they start to bleed. Some people crumble, never asking what the hurt means. What does it mean? What does it mean? My prayer, my prayer is to get back home, to get back home. My prayer, my prayer, Song's over.
You can't.
come to the edge of what's bright and leave the wasted words in corners. To hollow in our moments entwined, we're hollow inside but spilling over. But will we want something more? 'Cause we'll want something more than in between. We speak in loud tones, down in pain, in each other's cheeks. We work in miracles, brushing hair and trying for a peek. We kiss with eyes closed. We kiss with eyes closed. On the charm, don't let the room slip away. A smiling martyr, God forbid you have to fade again. There's nothing sacred. Tell the charm, don't let the room slip away. A smiling martyr, God forbid you have to fade again. There's nothing sacred. We kiss with eyes closed. We kiss with eyes closed. We kiss with eyes closed and the touching fingers and the words we chose. We kiss with eyes closed. We speak in loud tones, down in pain, in each other's cheeks. We work in miracles, brushing hair and trying for a peek. We kiss with eyes closed. We kiss with eyes closed. We kiss with eyes closed and the touching fingers and the words we chose. We kiss with eyes closed.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Jaru. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the lurk while you're. I'm gonna have to look at that later. While you're driving. Hope you're doing well. I hope everybody's doing well today. I'm gonna bring this.
Let's talk about
for later. Anyways, excuse me. I hope everything is going well for you, lurkers. Good to have you. Regulars will be here as they always are. Had sort of a late start. No stomach problems. Just other stuff. I also didn't sleep well. I'm really sleepy. I don't know. I was trying to find content too because I lost all my links. This time it wasn't Eli's fault. It was my computer's fault. Yeah, we can add that to everything. Yeah, that seems like something on our radar. So I didn't watch any of the debates, and I doubt we have time to do the whole debates, both of them. If I'm honest, because like I have homework to do and some other stuff that I've been just like having trouble getting my ADHD riddled brain to do. Yeah. So I need to have enough time to do that. Homework isn't anything much, but I do got to get it done before tomorrow. Man. You'll see. Fuck it. Let's do it now. I don't know why I'm shocked by this. I'm more just annoyed that people this stupid exist in the world. You ever get tired? Like I do. I get tired. Like I get really tired of how ridiculous people are on fucking like the internet. And when you see who it is, you're not going to be shocked, but you want to see a really dumb take on both the Alex Jones trial and also providing aid to Ukraine. Hey, look, it's Stone Toss. Hey, I'm idiot. Where do you think that money is going? It's literally, it's going to the families. Like, will they pay taxes on it? Yeah, sure. This is just another example that like conservatives have no idea how taxes work. They just know they hate them because they pay for them, and they're like, "That's my money going to the thing that I don't like," and that's it. They don't think any more than that. I just get so tired of. That's how it's what I saw before I hopped on. I was hoping to find a couple more things, but we'll get there. What is this? Oh, yeah, I already grabbed that. Lethal secondhand embarrassment. White lady gives super cringe racist speech at her friend's wedding. What the fuck is this?
Hi, I'm Shannon. I've known Tracy for...
Hi, Shannon.
Oh, God. I think so. I started at the North Store in 2013. Yeah. So I don't quite know Anthony that well, but Tracy talked about you, like, nonstop. Seriously. And she'd be like, I mean, you do that. I'm like, I don't care. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. You guys are so cute together.
Wait, what did you say?
Tracy talked about you, like, nonstop. Seriously. And she'd be like, I mean, you do that. I'm like, I don't care. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. You guys are so cute together. I swear to God, you guys, I hope.
How much has she had to drink before she hopped up here to give this speech?
Oh my goodness, seriously, like, tell death to us part, Anthony, seriously. You better take care of my girl, because if you don't, I know where you live. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
But yeah, you guys are so cute. Like, you're a part of the family, I swear to God. Like, I'm not gonna be racist, you guys. I'm just saying, okay? Oh my gosh.
This is why we don't let just anyone talk at our weddings. Yeah. What was this she just said?
But yeah, you guys are so cute. Like, you're a part of the family, I swear to God. Like, I'm not gonna be racist, you guys. I'm just...
This is where you stop. This is where you stop talking. Good morning, Somnus. This is where all of a sudden it's shut the fuck up Friday. You go, I'm not going to be racist. And then proceed to not do that. Like, just be like, I'm not going to be racist. You know, that would be fun. That... it'd be a fun video. I would never do it. Because I already have a hard time dealing with human beings. But like, just like if you like spark up conversations in public with like black people, and like in the middle of it you just go, I'm not going to be racist, and just like don't say anything else, and then like maybe you change the topic or something like that, just to see how they would react. That would be pretty funny. That'd be pretty funny. Because, like, you know damn well they would tense up because, like, you know the next thing that comes out of your mouth is going to be something really fucking racist. And they're waiting for the but. And it would just be awkward to call out the fact that you're not going to be racist. Because it's one of those things is like, no one said you were going to be. Why are you saying that? That could be fun. Would I ever do it? Fuck no.
Say it, okay? Oh my gosh. Let me racist, okay? No, just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. Of course, you guys are gonna get the like interracial couples. Oh my God. No, seriously, you guys are outstepping the stereotype, and I love it. Like, oh my God.
What is the stereotype?
But you guys, I swear, I love black people because you guys are the best. Like, my own daughter's great aunt is like the best woman. And so it's just...
Lady, stop talking. Please, shut up
best. And just, you guys are amazing. I love you.
She's probably the type of like liberal that doesn't consider herself a racist. So she knows that's a stereotype. So she doesn't put the raisins in the potato salad, but she also still doesn't season it, and is still confused as to why people call her potato salad white people potato salad.
I love you guys. Bless you. And I hope you.
That lady needs to take a breather. That's all I'm saying. By the way, I'm probably gonna have to mention it multiple times, but we're gonna push for donos today, because we very badly need money, and we're still waiting for the short-term disability insurance to kick in, because they keep asking for the same information over and over again. They've slow rolled it quite a bit. Scientists at Stanford University have reconstructed this 3D model of how Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ, might have looked. I bet she's got a good poker face. Anyways. Please understand the joke. Please. Please get to it. Yeah, it is Lady Gaga. There we go. Yeah, it's Lady Gaga. Disco Mom, good to see you. Yeah, I'm still like warming up to get ready. Oh, good. Fetterman raised $1 million after the debate. I've heard very mixed things about this debate, so I don't know. I really assume he's going to trip over his words a little bit, because he's still recovering from the stroke. Like, the thing that people need to realize about the whole stroke thing is it's not like he's incapable. Just because someone has a little difficulty speaking doesn't mean they have trouble like decision making or anything like that. He still has the better policies, and he still would be the better representative of Pennsylvania. Problem is, I saw someone say basically my worry. Like the people who are undecided at this point care a lot about aesthetics, not so much about policy. So consider me slightly concerned about Pennsylvania. I don't have the patience to deal with that. You know, you may notice there's a lot less red names on my timeline. And that's because I got tired of it, and for my mental health, I went and did the whole I'm not interested in the show me fewer tweets thing. Because, like, I don't know. Some not healthy conversation started, and it was just it was just kind of like annoying, I guess you could say. Wait a minute. Did Barack Obama mispronounce Michiganders?
Governor Whitmer is creating opportunities for all Michiganders to get ahead. Governor
By the way, it's really dark outside. I might have to turn that light on behind me. Holy shit. It got real dark out. Like, I have all the blinds open. It's super cloudy. Let me do something about that. I feel like ooh, spooky Halloween stream. I don't know. Normally don't need a lamp on at this time, but it is real fucking dark out. And I'm wondering if there's gonna be a storm. By the way, Lord, good to see you. By the way, yeah, that's not how you pronounce that word. It's Michiganders. No one said anything to him about that. Was there no one from Michigan, like in the crew, just like, Barack? That's not how you. That's not how you say that. It's Michiganders. It's not Michiganders. I don't even know how he got that pronunciation. It's harder to say. But whatever. All right, let's get into the stories. So I didn't pre-watch this. I wonder what it is.
Is because there's way too many grown men that don't know that you're supposed to wash your booty hole in the shower.
So I dated this guy years ago for maybe 3 or 4 months, right? And there were red flags everywhere, like the fact that he moved in with me after his mother kicked him out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is true. I'm not too sure how that would work in the living room with the kiddo, but when I can go back to having a dedicated streaming room, and then also, like, I don't know, some point in the future have like money to actually invest in my streaming stuff. Yeah, I should probably do that.
Right, she didn't actually kick him out. They got into a fight, so he said, I'm going to take my stuff and move in with this girl I just met. Because he was an idiot, and so was I. Every time he would get out of my shower, my bathroom would smell horrible, and I just figured he was blowing up my toilet, you know? And then one night, I'm going downtown, and I'm like, what is this horrible smell from between your legs, my guy? I looked under the sack, and there in his hair were 2 big-ass nuggets. I tell him, and he's like, oh my god, I just showered, I must have forgotten. I'm like, forgotten them? So he goes and he takes a shower and he comes out all clean, and I go in after him, and again, the bathroom reeks. I look in my shower, and he had tried and failed to waffle stomp his stuff down my drain.
Is because there's way
It's becoming more and more of a thing. I didn't know this was going to be gross. Yeah, I know what that means. Let's just say sometimes when I was working in nursing homes, isn't that a Doug episode? I don't know. When I was working in nursing homes and you're giving a patient a shower, they sometimes poop in the shower. And you have to figure out what you're going to do with that, because you can't just leave poop on the floor. Now, I'm not saying that that is exactly what you do. It isn't. You're not. What are you gonna? You're wearing shoes, but you have to get rid of it, and it's in a shower, and usually it's a bathroom and shower connected, but like you still have to get rid of it. And if you get like toilet paper, it's just going to turn into a soggy mess when you try and pick it up, and poop will get everywhere anyways. So you take the path of least resistance and do whatever you need to do to get it down the drain. Just gonna sit here and watch my viewer numbers just absolutely go down. But I think the bigger problem here, but yeah, that's how I know what that phrase means, because some girls would refer to, some other aides would refer to having to do that because, oh my god, she pooped in the shower again. Like, oh. Yeah. He chose to engage in poop discourse. That isn't necessary. No. Also, I made a new TikTok. Since we're already being gross.
Oh, it's gonna come back.
It's so cool being two bros with their shirts off in the kitchen. What the fuck? Enjoyed that. This is why my field is medical billing and not the actual medical field. That's originally why I did medical billing. That is originally why. Because I didn't want to do any of the gross stuff, and then I ended up finding out that actually I can tolerate it, and it's easier to find a job as a, or at least it was easier to find a job as a nurse aide. Come on, lotion. We are scraping the bottom of the barrel for money, so please donate to the channel, because we're sorely lacking in toiletries, and our fucking temporary disability insurance is fighting us because they don't think that mental health issues are important enough to take time off for. So yeah. We're fucking broke. Can if you can help, please donate a little bit, because yeah, it's becoming more of a problem as time goes on. How'd you guys like my acting, by the way? I also realized I made a mistake. Usually he's shirtless in his videos, so the shirtless thing doesn't make any sense anymore. But like, I'm I hope he doesn't take offense to that, because whatever, he looks good. He definitely looks a lot better than me. With my shirt off, so good for him. But trying to refer to that, he always has his shirt off. What's MTG doing on TikTok? Oh, actually, this isn't her. Actually, this lady who has a very good point. Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to mention about this is like, I did not know that there was such an epidemic of dudes not washing their ass. Some of the worst feeling that I have, if let's say shit's been real busy, homework, school and stuff, and I push back my shower because I just do not have any time. Sometimes happens. Happens a lot more than I care to admit since Eli was born. I've heard about men also thinking it's gay to wipe their ass too. Ugh. Oh my god. Wow. But in those instances, the thing that is most uncomfortable on me when I have those problems is that area. You better believe that I wash it. I don't only wash it, but TMI. I air dry. I air dry my shit, because it just dries more comfortably that way. Otherwise, not even kidding, get a bidet. I've been wanting to for the longest time, and we just don't have the money. Deadline for PSLF waiver is coming up. Apply quick before the 31st if you qualify. My wife just got $190,000 in student loan forgiveness this morning. I'm exhilarated. Let's go. Hell yeah. Yes. God, what the fuck is the link? I shared the link in here before. Is it in my messages? Let me see here. Oh, that was the thing I was going to watch on my own. I think I saved the link. Was that it? Because I know I signed up for it. I did my part. I'm doing my part. Yeah, if anyone knows the link offhand, I'll look it up too. Student loan cancellation application. All right. So, throwing this in chat. If you got student loan debt, and you make less than what is it, $175,000 a year as a single person, or $250,000 a year as a family, apply there, and yeah, get your student debt forgiven. Thankness, it's good to see you, and that's a great message to open up on. But yes, my point is, I don't understand why this is a separate waiver that Biden instituted, which removes the 10 years of consistent payments if you worked for a nonprofit. Oh, okay. Yeah. That would not count for me at all. Anyways. Yeah. I don't understand not washing your ass. She qualified from working at a hospital? I'm not I don't think any of the I don't think I don't think I've worked for any nonprofits. If the hospital is nonprofit, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Ancom, good to see you. I don't know. Possibly one of the hospice companies I worked for before they went under. Which, funny story, my new therapist, which I had my first like real appointment with last night, and he has ADHD too, and we were on there for like an hour and a half. Appointments are only supposed to be an hour, and like yeah, I can see both of us struggling to keep things focused because we just get to talking. It's like the blind leading the blind sometimes. He knows what he's supposed to do, but we just get lost. But yeah, I may have to look into it. But he actually worked for one of the hospice companies that I worked for. The first one I worked at. He was there when they closed. Like, I left because the manager there hated me. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, you just probably were getting into trouble a lot with her, and that's why you say that she hated you. And let me tell you, no, that is absolutely incorrect. She would literally target me about things that she thought I was doing, as opposed to what I was actually doing, to the extent that that the other all the nurses that worked with me, worked with patients with me, were like telling her to calm down, because they would be like, "He's a good aide. He's good at what he does." She's like, "Well, he forgot this," and they're just like, "No, he didn't. No, he didn't." You know. A lot of times they were there at the time I was like doing at work, and they would just be like, they just, you know, like some one lady had like a lot of mucus that she had like I forget what the condition is, but it causes a lot of mucus buildup on the eyes, and I cleaned the hell out of her eyes. Yes, you are in the pit, devil. Start moshing. I cleaned the hell out of that, and when I left the room, her eyes were clear. And the nurse had noted that her eyes had excess mucus on it, and that got to that manager, and she chewed me out and took me off that patient because she said I didn't clean her face at all. And even the nurse was like, "No, he did. She builds up a lot of mucus really fast. So it doesn't matter if you cleaned it off. 10, 15 minutes later, she's going to have a lot of mucus build up. You know, and you have to clean her face like a lot." And she was just like, no. And like talked about investigating me and suspending me and everything like that. Like, it was a whole thing. Like, she hated my guts. Still to this day, have no idea why. But yeah, she slowly started taking patients away from me, because I was a PRN. And yeah. Then all of a sudden I had no patients and I wasn't working on anyone. And I was just like, I got to find a new job. And then months later, they called me and were like, "Hey, we found a patient for you." And I was like, "I'm working full time at another place. Like, you guys kind of abandoned me. So Like, what the hell? Yeah, that was a whole pain. So when I say that manager hated me, I mean hated me to the extent that everyone else was like, what is wrong with you? Sounds like a post from r/anti-work. Yeah. Portside's good to see you. Anyways, dudes, wash your ass. It's not gay. It's called general maintenance. That's where all the stinky stuff comes out. Do you want to be stinky? Do you want to be gross? You know, oh, why can't I find any girls that like me? Blah blah blah. Fucking clean your ass, for starters. Why the fuck wouldn't you wash your ass? I know. I don't get it either. Wash your balls, wash your ass. Like, I get the whole, like, you know, washing your legs and feet thing, because, like, it's a pain in the ass, especially for me. I don't have the best balance, so usually I don't wash my feet in the shower. I have to do it where I can sit down. But, like, do I wash my legs? Yeah. Like, what? Wash yourself. Everywhere. Like, do you think that it's gay if a male aide washes an older patient's ass? No? Well, then wash your own. It's for the same reason. I was afraid to wash my beehole until I was in my 30s. Let me tell you, somebody with all the stomach conditions I do, washing your ass became very necessary because life got more and more uncomfortable down there. More and more uncomfortable. And that's like the least comfortable thing when I, like, have periods where I have trouble finding time to get in the shower. Which happens. Anyways, so Jackson Hinkle was on Jimmy Dore's show. I think that's all the setup I need to do for this.
Parents alleged the video game character is actually a depiction of Satan and that the hand symbol is demonic, with several even using the word witchcraft to describe it.
That's not what I'm a part of, and that's not what I'm trying to put out there.
As for the transgender flag, one parent implied it's a sickness. No decision was made on the future of the mural at Monday's meeting. In Grant, Nate Belt, 13 on your side.
And we begin tonight with the...
I'll be bringing Jackson the Hair Hinkle. So there you have both ends of the political spectrum equally mental.
Yeah.
How is that equal to the left? Because he would get angry a lot and he spoke to the lowest common denominator. That's why. PSA, what is Hamza? We'll check it in just a
The
second.
devil thing's a little weird, but
What that
Is it? It's from a game.
that drawing of that devil thing?
why is there a devil on the painting?
It's a video game character.
I don't know. Was it from a video game? Who gives a shit? I don't. Do you mind a devil painting? I don't give a fuck. It's in the Bible. I got a picture of the devils in the Bible.
Yeah.
You're trying. Don't you dare! Don't you fucking dare, Jackson.
Listen, I'm just happy that we canceled Halloween. Can I be happy about that? Now we have time for we have time for the drag shows, and we have time for the the genital mutilation surgeries for our kids.
Jackson, you gotta open your mind. You gotta open your mind. I don't get it. But I'm for the mural. And what's the first story? And I'm for Halloween.
I just want to weigh in on this. Like I remember when I went to, I can't believe they haven't canceled Halloween in schools before now. Because when I went to high school, I remember girls dressing up in Playboy bunny costumes.
Yes.
Do you remember that? It couldn't have been more provocative. Everybody in this room has seen those women, those young girls.
Well,
they looked hot.
I had a
Those
rule.
girls looked hot in high school wearing these Playboy bunny things. I can't get over. And
you see though that they're the true leftists because they care about the working class because trans people can't be working class. No. All of them are super rich. And I don't know anything about the canceling Halloween story. But, like, these are not the same things. These are not the same things. Not to mention the fact that, it's probably seen as, like, a left-wing reason as to why they closed, they stopped doing Halloween, but it's probably more likely conservatives were losing their minds about things like, they're policing what their kids can and cannot wear to school. I believe it was probably more something like that. I don't know what the story is, and I don't care enough, honestly, to find it, because whatever, most schools in the country, it's a fringe example. But stuff like this mural, this is shit that's happening everywhere. I tried to explain this to some people on fucking Twitter that, like, anecdotes, you need to use anecdotes if you can back them up with overall data. If you're going to attach it to an overall thing. Isn't penile inversion surgery restricted to a really high age range, 18 or 21 the minimum? Yeah. Yeah, it's something that you have to decide when you're legally an adult and can consent yourself. Like, there's a lot of restrictions on this, and they're making it harder and harder to get gender affirming care. So, that was the wrong one. My phone went in the way. There we go. Down the brightness because I'm getting washed out. Hang on a second. I don't know. Our stream bot is there. Okay. Also, it's called a phalloplasty. Or no, it's a vaginoplasty, actually. But it's a whole thing. I got to look into some really in-depth stuff while getting way too distracted with TERFs and transphobes on Twitter the last week. Yeah, it's like I said, there's a reason why I stopped showing. I started to. Well, here's a perfect example because this person's a conservative. SEAL Team 6 Operator Podcast. I'm a real man. Here's what I've been doing. Shinigami eyes. Not interested in this tweet. Show fewer from said guy. I'm cleaning up my timeline. But yeah, I got really in depth into like the surgeries and everything. And like the more I learned about him, it's like I don't understand the concern. I think what's most infuriating about all of this is that we're still having 3 exact same fucking conversations with these fucking tourists. Yeah. Obsession with infertility. The completely misconstruing the age of anyone who gets gender affirming care, like, and what gender affirming care they get at what age. Pronouns. And the biology argument, which I like to really twist them in knots with that. I got somebody to the point where they just were just like insanely butthurt and blocked me by saying, you know, if what you say is true of our biology, that, you know, somebody born male cannot become a woman by taking estrogen, why does estrogen have that feminizing effect? They didn't like that. I'm okay with it. They're children at 18 unless they are willing to die for the country. Yeah. True. At least they can vote. They don't. But they should. Ah, Mike Pompeo. Hey, here's another one. Not interested in this tweet. Show fewer Mike Pompeo. Or do porn. Yeah. Yeah, what is going on with this mic stand? Oh, there we go. By the way, tomorrow night, you know, I don't stream on Thursdays, but tomorrow night, Only Zots is doing a Halloween karaoke stream, and I will be in attendance. I might sing a song if I feel up to it. Like, if I do, it might be like 1 or 2 because my throat is shredded and I'm incredibly out of practice. I'd like to see if I had the money, at least I would buy this stuff called God, what is it called? Vocal ease, I believe. And back in the day, I would use that all the time when I was singing for a band, and it actually made a difference. It made a great bit of difference with my throat. But because of my stomach conditions, I don't have the longevity that I used to. I used to be able to sing for like fucking hours strongly. Like strongly. But like I can't do that anymore. I remember back in the day, like sitting outside the Flint local, making fun of Craig Owens from Childish's voice, and like doing like his exact voice and hitting the same notes as him, and people are just like, "Whoa!" I was like, "What? It's easy. That's all he does. It's just whiny." Sorry, I don't like Childish. The couple times I met some of the members from that band, nice people, but yeah, I never cared for their music. I haven't done karaoke since my birthday, just before the pandemic. Yeah, referring to it as the panty is interesting. All right, So thank you, Jimmy Dore, for having no real legitimate critique of Jackson Hinkle just bringing out the pure form of transphobia and just kind of mocking trans people by saying, "Oh, you just got to expand your mind." You really don't. It's not much of an expansion to be like, "Wow, you say you're a woman. You look like a woman. Okay. I have no reason to question this in any way. It harms me none." Oh, one of the other constant arguments, because we bring up intersex people existing, they always go, "Oh, you know, they're less than 1% of the population." Like, yeah, so are trans people. So are trans people. And you're losing your shit over trans people, but you're not losing your mind about intersex people. Why? Are we allowed to use less than 1% of the population as an example, or not? I don't know. Apparently, Jewish people make up less than 1% of the population too. I hope that number gets higher. It means more will be willing to come out. Yeah, and it will. As acceptance grows, it will. That doesn't stop Kanye. Yeah. I have something for this? Oh, I'm afraid. No, actually, I just thought it would be funny. Because I'm an idiot. Big room, good to see you. By the way, Vile, welcome in. So I see you're newer here. I did not. I have no idea what you're talking about. So hold on to your genitals. It's time to fap. Yeah. I more like, you know, hold on to your genitals because they might go flying away. Just gonna take a sec. All right. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into the Candace Owens clip. So remember what I keep telling people about people like Candace Owens. Their real opinions are not the things that they say. Their real politics is what makes me money. There's no belief behind it at all. Remember, this lady who constantly talks about how Black Lives Matter is terrible and talks about race hustlers in the same way that your racist uncle does, and will cite Candace Owens as an example that he doesn't hate black people. But also the culture, guys, their culture is bad. She doesn't believe any of the things she says. She has no politics. She's doing it all for money. But you're always able to tell which ones are doing it for money when they say things that are even difficult for their fans to defend, to where they'll go to the point where they just refuse to watch you link a video showing that they said something like this, and they'll just go, "Nuh-uh. No, that's fake news." Yeah. Is it fake news that she said that Hitler's nationalism was only a problem when he decided to take it out of Germany? You know, where the concentration camps were? Where the concentration camps started? Well, they started rounding up Jewish German citizens? I am so afraid. Yeah. Never forget that that's what she said. I can't find it, but basically it talks about how cis people are allowed gender-affirming care all the time, breast augmentation, penile implants, etc. All sorts of comparisons. Oh yeah. I brought that up as an example too when they were like, puberty blockers lead to infertility, and it's like, okay, what about precocious puberty? Like, it got to the point where, yes, old Adolf was, in fact, a globalist. Yeah. But yeah, I brought up, like, okay, so you have an issue with kids taking these pills for years, but you don't, to delay puberty, but you don't have an issue when they take it for fucking precocious puberty. And they're like, they had to admit, it was like, actually, that's a good point. Like, yeah, you're worried about infertility in less than 1% of the population. But that's also less than 1% of the population, and you don't give a shit. Like, if you have an issue with, like, kids having possible infertility issues, which it's not even a common side effect from puberty blockers. It's not even a common side effect. It's a possible side effect, I learned. And, like, they haven't figured out, like, how exactly that works in my research. But, like, that shouldn't be anybody's fucking business but theirs. Oh, they're too young to make these decisions. What if they want kids later? Well, if they're actually trans, which 98% of them are, they weren't going to have kids anyways. Why is it any of your business? Once again, trans people are not the majority. They're unlikely to ever be the majority, in fact. So you don't have to worry about infertility. Don't worry, there'll be plenty of baby makers in the world. Just let them live their fucking lives and maybe, I don't know, adopt the shit ton of kids that we have in our horribly broken adoption system. Just throwing that out there. So goddamn obsessed with people having kids. Seriously. I tried to explain, like, how ridiculous it is in the healthcare field regarding that. And I told him about, like, all the stuff that friends of mine and my wife has gone through in order to get their tubes tied or their hysterectomies in their mid-30s. And they're just like, well, I mean, that's just like a couple examples. I was like, it's borne out by, like, the data too, and I would link them stuff, and they'd be like, well, you're just talking anecdotes. Like, do you know how ethos, pathos, and logos works? And they had no idea what I was talking about. I was like, okay, so I'm making the emotional argument by talking about my personal anecdotes, but I'm also providing the factual evidence to prove my claim. And then I'm giving you the logic behind it based on the data. Ethos, pathos, logos. Not specifically in that order. It's actually pathos, ethos, logos in that instance. But yeah, the quiverfuls who don't stop making babies until their bodies give out will pick up the slack. Yeah, like, it's not going to matter anyways. Like, I don't get it. Anyways, Candace Owens sucks. Let's hear her voice another opinion that she doesn't believe that her fans are going to pretend she never said.
I don't care what you have to say about Harvey Weinstein as an individual. I think he sucks. I think he did broker his power to get what he wanted. I think it was a total sleazeball. That's a good defense. If she openly said that she consented, but she was just faking her consent, what is the requirement here? How is a man supposed to know that you're actually not consenting, but you're faking your consent in the form of faking an orgasm with him? And it is interesting that she also was an aspiring actress.
Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you have a position of power and you're using that power to exploit somebody, exploit sex out of them in order to help their career that has nothing to do with sex work, yeah, it doesn't matter if they consent or not. That's still a problem and it should be illegal. Yeah, absolute sleazeball argument. These people do not think when they say things. I mean, they don't understand how power structures work anyways, but you know.
As I've said, I would have to speak about each individual person that went through this. I actually personally have always believed that something happened to Rose McGowan, and I was going to have her on my show a while ago, but we didn't end up making it work.
She was probably like, wait a minute. Are you the lady that said that Germany, that Hitler's nationalism was good, but then he moved it out of Germany? Yeah. No, thank you.
But some of these women that jumped onto the Me Too movement, not so much. I think some of these women were basically prostitutes and were willing to do whatever it took to get the part, and they were willing to, you know, undignify themselves and go so far as to sleep with this disgusting man.
Conservatives learn how power structures work. Challenge impossible. Let's see here. Is it the fault of the people in power who created this structure of, if you sleep with me or do sexual favors for me, I will put you in movies, thus, you know, showing my absolute corruption? Is it their fault? Or is it the people who were like, well, I don't see any other way to do this, I might as well? Because it's that or fucking starve. Is it the coerced? Or is it the people who are doing the coercing? I don't know, Candace. It's so hard to tell. She just puts that out there with no basis in reality too and runs with it as a fact. Yep. Oh, this is the, oh, you participated in society, but you know, but you claim to hate it. Interesting. It's the Matt Boers comic. This is just another version of it. Who created the power structure? The people in power. But the people who had no choice but to participate in it, they're the real problem. They should have just kept saying no. And starved. Okay. Hang on a second. It's not important whether it's based in reality. In conservative spheres, as long as the message is out there, it will circulate and be touted as the one mitigating assumption with that counters any criticism, just like with CRT. Yeah, exactly. When in reality, the main thing that they're actually vying for is things like upholding the patriarchy and cutting funding to schooling. Like with CRT, their main job with that is to use CRT as a means to cut funding to public schools. Because if they sell this narrative, wow, thank you for the follow. If they sell this narrative that CRT is in schools and now it's the transes are taking over the schools and stealing your kid's dick. The ultimate result is you cut away at funding for schools. Like it's sort of like all the things that conservatives bring up as like defenses of bills that make voting harder, like the voter suppression laws. It's sort of like that, because like well, a lot of us will get distracted by things like the IDs, which, you know, I still am like, you know, the IDs is stupid. I don't know why we need an ID to vote. Like no one is showing up to vote for somebody else multiple times. It's just silly. And getting hung up on the ID thing where they're just like, oh, why is it so difficult for you to go get an ID? It only costs you $15. Why can't you do that? Take a couple of seconds out of your day. And it's like, gee, I don't know. It's probably because Secretary of States are open from like 9 to 5 o'clock in most states in this country, and most people are forced to work around that time and not open on weekends, which makes it incredibly inconvenient for most normal people, who these people also don't want to vote, to show up and get those IDs. But, you know, they turned it into a you're lazy argument, when really the biggest issue that is having a far bigger effect on voter suppression is actually the fact that they cut funding to several of the precincts around there, to where they shrink down precincts into each other for voting, where multiple precincts are voting at the same voting station, and adding to the lines, making for longer wait times, making for a less likely chance that people are in their normal lives are going to have the time. Hey, look, it's the same thing as Secretary of State, to vote. Thing that has always annoyed me about the people who go on those debate panels and argue about voter suppression laws is they never once bring up the fact that that is what's happening, and that has a far bigger impact on voter suppression. Like, great point that I saw was somebody talking about the laws that restrict people from handing out food or water to people stuck in line for voting. And I'm like, I saw somebody reply to that and say, yes, that is bad and stupid, but why are the fucking lines so long to where you need to be handed food and water? Oh, right. It's because they collapsed several precincts into each other through budget cuts. You laugh, but a trans stole my dick. I had to wrestle it back. Question if it was worth it afterwards. The mule thing spawning the Chud Overwatchers in Arizona, other places too. Yeah. Let's see here. You can say all those things to them, but they don't incorporate those facts into their mental dialogue. It's not confirming their biases. It's incredibly hard to get through to them. It is. It is. Nay, welcome in. Good to have you. Kids are gonna all turn trans to steal your dick. I'm putting that one in my back pocket for future use. It's my favorite thing to say. It's my favorite thing to say when people are like, you know, oh, the trans is. Also, be sure to use the phrase "the transes." That's my favorite thing to use, just to show how big they are. You know, it's like when you hear a fucking conservative person say "the blacks," and you're just like, I'm about to hear some racist ass shit. Is all I'm saying. It's inevitable. You called them the blacks, and you know. Prepare thyself. Anyways, what else you got to say about defending power structures and not understanding them here, Candace?
and he took the power that was given to him. He didn't care. People did a deal with the devil, and then when it became convenient, after they got what they wanted, which is the defense's argument, she got what she wanted, and they even go on to say that she's been to his house since. Kind of compelling, right? You're the face of, you're claiming that this person sexually assaulted you. Why would you continue to ask him to contribute financially to your husband's campaign for governor throughout the years?
Because he's a big money donor, and that's how our system is set up, where it encourages people to politicians and otherwise, to prostitute themselves for cash, instead of just like giving everybody the same amount of cash to work with for campaigning, so that they can, have it be about their fucking ideas. God forbid. No, it's got to be about having the most expensive commercial on the most markets to just crowd out the competition. A chud dropping the blacks pretends major cringe in the near future. Always. Every single fucking time. Every single fucking time. If you can't say people, and you have to reference them down, like, that's the other thing. These are the same people who fight against, like, identity politics. And then they reduce people down to their identity all the fucking time. Like, we could at least admit they're people. Like, what's the better way to say it? Black people. No one's afraid of the fact that you said black. It's that you dehumanize them by saying the blacks. They are their identity. The transes. Like, they don't get why that's a problem. And it's like, that's your identity politics, dude. If you have to reduce them down to just that, and also treat them as a monolith, they try to use the whole who are the real racists, and it's like, well, it's still you. Because you say shit like that. What other stupid shit you got for us, Candace?
Why would you allow him to host you, as Harvey Weinstein did? He hosted the Newsoms as guests to his parties.
Again, it's because the system is incredibly corrupt, and there's only people on the left who have no power who want to end this system of fighting for campaign donations, especially having to fight for campaign donations from somebody who who use their power over you to have sex with you. Yeah, I'm happy with it.
That, to me, you can say what you want, but if you're a victim and you see somebody that is your rapist, you do not go to their house when they invite you to go to their house. It just...
I don't know, Candace. I don't know. All I know is you keep talking about how, the patriarchy doesn't exist, and how men actually have less and less power in this society, when that's not even remotely true. or they have no power, especially, you know, Christian white men. We are the truly oppressed. I can tell you as a white dude, no, the fuck we're not. No, we are not. I have seen both sides. Not like, you know, not for a person, obviously. But I have seen both sides. And yeah, when I see the difference in how somebody black is treated versus somebody white like me, there's a difference. Dear Candace, thank you for taking one for the team and marrying an incel whiner, but the rest of us shouldn't have to pay for it for the rest of your life by listening to you capitulate to this bullshit. I look forward to the divorce. I look forward to finding out that she was cheating on him with a black woman. That would be hilarious. A black trans woman. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? It would have no effect on her viewers because they would just be like, no, she didn't, and not actually look into the story. NaNoWriMo? I don't know what that is. I think she may end up with Kanye. National Novel Writing Month? Ah, okay. Gotcha. You know, I was going to say there's no way, and then I thought about it. Nay. You have cursed us all by putting that out into the world. It is now out into the ether. It could now happen. And if it does happen, I'm coming for you. I'm just kidding. Anyways, yeah, Candace, why don't you talk more about how you know, you don't understand power structures and how they work at all, or even politics for that matter, but you're a political commentator.
It's not something that doesn't seem like regular behavior. And I know what you're going to say. That's victim blaming. That's not, you might want to hang out with your rapist for years and years and take pictures with them after you were raped and assaulted. Okay, maybe.
Maybe you want to put up the perception that you're friendly with them so that they'll give you a bunch of money for the campaign that your husband is running. Because, you know, he asked you to, or he forced you to, because this, you want your husband to win, but like, you have to kind of put your pride behind you in a number of these situations. They can only end up with each other because no one is going to stand how extra they are. What if she wound up with like Terrence Williams or whatever, one of the other black right-wing grifters?
I'm just saying that this is a very strong defense.
It is not. It is not. It's a very easy defense to knock down, actually, Candace, because all you got to say is you cannot blame this on the person who was being exploited and coerced, because all the power was on Mr. Weinstein's side. But they don't understand that. In meetings all day until 4. Oh, that sucks on this. Well, have a good day otherwise, and I'll do my best to help keep your ears entertained while you deal with those things. Because sometimes we put our dignity on the back burner because either you feel it's important or your husband insists you concede. Yeah, insist and you concede. No one wants to hang out with their racist. Yes, rapist. Yes, correct. Absolutely correct. That is a better way to put it. Because that's essentially what I'm getting at. This isn't a matter of just being like, you know, oh, this is a good defense. It's not. Oh, she hung out with him afterwards. Yeah, she had nowhere else to go. And, you know, her husband wanted to get elected, and she wanted her husband to get elected, and she knows that that's one of the things that you do. And getting on the wrong side of these donors is actually a bad idea, because they have power, they have sway. How do you think it would have turned out for Gavin Newsom if she didn't play friendly with him and instead was like, this dude fucking exploited the shit out of me back in the day in order for me to get acting jobs, and basically coerced me into having sex with them because the alternative was me dying on the street. We know for a fact that what Harvey Weinstein would do to anyone who stood up against him was make sure that they stopped getting roles. He played a big part in that. He did that. So, if you know that that's what Harvey's doing, and you know the system is backing him up for him doing that, and he has most of the power, and you go into acting, and you run into Harvey Weinstein, because you need that job. And he says, well, the only way you're going to do that is guess what? It's a power play. That's what it is. It's them exerting their power that they have over these people who just want to work. Like, if you want to bitch about how Hollywood was, you know, they bitch a lot about how Hollywood is run because conservatives don't have the footing that they used to. But like, if you guys actually want talent to be the thing that rules in those instances, don't find ways to defend Harvey Weinstein. All that does is just encourage the corruption to exist. Candace Owens is an idiot. She's very useful to the right, and she doesn't care. She's just like, I don't know, I collect a paycheck and I go the fuck home. All right, let's talk about this. This is a clip that's been getting around the last couple days. There, a lot of MAGA people are celebrating this as a win for them, but they're not recognizing one very simple fact. This went like they keep saying, oh, CNN didn't expect this to, or MSNBC didn't expect this to happen. And it's like, so you're telling me that the people who follow like politics and everything didn't expect for the crazy MAGA base that is deluded into believing absolute lies and will spread those lies, will then get on TV when questioned on it and stick and double down on their absolute lies that make them feel better about losing an election. No, we totally expect them to do that. That's what they always do. This is no shock here. They think that this somehow went well for them.
Doug Mastriano was at the insurrection and he was photographed breaching one of the restricted areas. Is that okay?
Which area? Because I saw a video where Capitol officers were taking away barriers and unlocking doors. People. So, I mean,
they opened the gates.
So it shouldn't be disqualifying for an elected official if they participated in January 6th?
He didn't strike anybody. He didn't hurt anybody.
And the only one that died was a protester there, not a...
Oh, they were welcome in the Capitol, you see. Oh, really? Why were the doors locked? Why were they having to break into windows and crawl through them? Hey, Capitol Police just opened the gates for them. I mean, you know, they weren't trying to reduce the harm to people or anything like that, because they were getting overrun and they didn't have the manpower to do anything about it because the president was dragging his feet on calling for the National Guard because he wanted Mike Pence to get murdered so that he could stay in office. I mean, that would be crazy. That makes too much sense.
Capitol
An
Police
unarmed
officer.
female veteran was
That's
shot
the
by
only one that
police.
died.
That's the only one who died.
A police officer did die.
No,
He died
it was
of
a
heart attack.
stroke.
That's
not on site.
caused by
So if you didn't die at the insurrection, that wasn't caused by the insurrection. By the way, that cop that died of the heart attack, he was sprayed in the face with bear spray and then taken to the hospital because he was having trouble breathing. And it turned into a heart attack because of the bear mace and a lot of people attacking. Yeah. It turns out stress can kill. Who the fuck knew? Oh wait, everybody? The U.S. Embassy here in South Africa sent a security alert regarding a terrorist attack to the area where they are, and maybe even the attack on them. Really? Keep us updated on that, Africali, and welcome in. Let us know what's going on. This is definitely the first that I've heard of it. Like most of what I concentrate on is pretty domestic. But yeah, keep me posted on that. That's definitely something we would want to keep track of. Like 6 police officers died. It was like 4. One of them killed themselves. And they're like, oh, he killed himself. So that's not because of the insurrection, except for the fact that he literally wasn't the same after the insurrection and had to seek therapy, and it didn't work. But he's just weak-minded, you see. He's just weak. Yeah, okay. One of my biggest fears is having to interact with people like them. I know, right? They released the alert like an hour ago. They said it might happen this weekend on Saturday or Sunday. Right on. I stream on weekends, so same time. So, yeah, keep us posted on that. That'd be great. And let's see here. We're about to head into the second hour of the stream. So I'm gonna re-up this and say, hey, excuse me. We are incredibly broke right now. And we need to buy some toiletries that are very necessary, and we don't have any money. So if you could donate, it'd be greatly appreciated to the stream. Exclamation point dono in this in the chat. Because we're being dicked around by the short-term disability that Glam is supposed to get, my wife, while she's off for mental health issues. Oh, Africali, we call it streamer PTSD here. There are people who will come into the stream and flat out lie. Usually right-wingers. So, you know, they check to make sure. I didn't question it because it does sound like something that's possible. But like, also those alerts could amount to like nothing. So saying that was an alert that happened is like, you know, it doesn't really, it's just like, oh, okay. And then we wait for the follow-up, which is either there was an attempt at an attack and the reports come out, or there's an attack. It's not about you lying. It's about providing source. Yeah. Always provide a source. So it's not about you. It's about the nature of stream chats. We're a serious stream here. Yes, we're a very serious stream, which is totally why I didn't show a TikTok earlier of myself reacting to somebody pretending to vomit by me getting naked in my kitchen and throwing water on myself and pretending like it was vomit. I peeled back the curtain a little bit, didn't I? Anyways, we talk about serious stuff and then we goof around. My first time here, so did not want to get banned while providing the link, but thank you. That's a good point, actually. That's a good point. I allow links to be posted still because I'll have my mods check it out just in case it's not safe for stream, because that happens too. But like, yeah, don't take it personally, honestly. The fuckers on this panel should just go to Zazzle and get t-shirts with stochastic terrorist printed on them. Yeah, watch the way that they twist themselves around regarding January 6th.
That's because he shouldn't have been a police officer. It was one woman.
So what do you make?
He shouldn't have been a police officer. What a utter weakling for dying from a heart attack after getting sprayed with bear mace.
Though overall of January 6th, I mean, watching that footage, it was pretty disturbing. I mean, there were people throwing excrement at the walls, and it was it's the Capitol.
It looked a lot like Antifa's actions.
Ah, yes. Oh, no. Yeah, that was our people, but actually they were good. And actually the cops opened the gates for them, so it was totally fine. And the people that died totally weren't any of their faults. I'm not going to acknowledge that Ashley Babbitt died while crawling through a window. I'm not going to acknowledge that that she was crawling through a broken window, and that's when a cop who warned her multiple times to not crawl through the window shot her. Not justifying it by any means, but they sure as hell would justify it if it was a fucking Black Lives Matter protester. Have a good day. All right, we'll see you. I will see you, Nay. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate you. Are you following? Yeah, you are. Okay. I'm gonna follow him for a minute. Cool. Anyways. So yeah. They just now it's the logic ball is like just coming undone. Essentially, the logic ball of a conservative is like a rubber band ball. Like, if the right rubber band snaps, it all just starts coming out and undone. But like, they never acknowledge it. They just sit there and they go, no, that's still a rubber band ball. What are you talking about? No, I don't need to do anything about it. Like, it's a ball still. Because, like, no, we were there, and it was okay that we were there, and none of the bad stuff that happened was our fault, but also it was Antifa. None of these people have any idea what Antifa tactics look like, by the way. Find me an example of people who are who believe in anti-fascist action rubbing shit all over the walls of well, anywhere, really. I'll wait.
Except on a much smaller scale, it looked the same as the Black Lives Matter riots.
That's what I saw. The similar.
It didn't. Let's also recognize that what actually happened in the summer of 2020 was a lot of cops were firing on peaceful protesters, which would cause people to get more and more agitated. So they started fighting in defense of themselves against the police who kept attacking them. And it was found out later that most of the fires were started by, you guessed it, right-wing provocateurs like the Proud Boys. So that property damage that you guys claim to care so much about, you guys caused it. And are just using Black Lives Matter people as a scapegoat for it all because it was at their protest. They always talk about like all these secret ops that the left we don't do any of that. We don't really do any of that. And if we do, it's highly publicized. We can't help ourselves but to put it on the internet. We make it obvious as hell when we do shit like that. So we come out and we talk about how to do it and how to infiltrate these groups and what to say and what to do. Like, hey, Lord, thank you for the $20.
Baby shot do 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 baby shot do 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 baby shot.
Baby shark? Is that when you fart and a little poop comes out? Anyways, thank you for the $20. I really appreciate it. That's going to help. That's what I saw. Well, you might want to see a therapist for that. Yep. We were just doing the same things as the Black Lives Matters. Like, were you? Also, let's go over the reasoning. Let's never forget that the reasonings are way different. Let's see here. Mass police brutality issues around this country because the highest amount of funding in every jurisdiction in this country is to police endlessly. You know, we have the highest incarceration rate in the world, and we also have cops that kill. They get away with killing everybody. But, you know, at a higher rate, they go after black people. Proven time and time again. Those facts are not debatable. Versus, I'm mad and pissy because I lost an election, and I refuse to admit it. I refuse to admit that the majority of the country has never and will never agree with me because I'm an extremist moron, and I want my minority to control everything that happens here, even more than it already does, which I will pretend like didn't happen. I'll pretend like there hasn't been a majority of conservatives in the Supreme Court since the late 1970s. I'll pretend like, you know, we haven't controlled the majority of governorships and state congresses around the country through mass gerrymandering and voter suppression laws. I'll pretend like that's not the reality and instead talk about how oppressed I am. Yeah. Okay. Let's hear some more delusional bullshit.
Minneapolis burns. Kenosha burns.
But so it's okay
Rocket
just
shop.
because.
Kenosha burned to the ground? Whoa. Kenosha must not exist anymore. We know that's not true. I'm not even going to bother looking at the shit because... Come on.
Just because one side that you disagree with,
I'm saying
okay
it's even infiltrated.
It's good for one, it's good for the other.
Anybody?
They keep interrupting the lady trying to push the fake conspiracy theory.
Harmed anybody who caused property destruction, that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah,
but if you're
on
there
either
making your voice heard at the people's house, no less, that's, again, it's a fundamental constitutional right of an American citizen. And people should not be being held political prisoner because of it.
For misdemeanor.
Yeah. Okay, baby Jon Stewart. Let's talk about this a little bit. Dude, that is not at all what happened. That is not at all what happened. Like, at one point, they tell the lie that they didn't start marching down to the state capitol until, like, while Trump was speaking, ignoring the fact that Trump was saying at that time that they need to march down to the Capitol and encourage them to do it. And we're going to ignore the fact that there were other speakers that were, you know, pushing all sorts of things that were riling them up. And there was all the online shows that they watch riling them up, talking about, you know, this is the fuck around and find out moment. You know, Steve Bannon talking about, you know, it's going to be chaos. I miscarried deeply about Tulsa, Detroit, and all the other deeply black communities burned to the ground in history. Yeah, not to mention, they'll talk about Detroit, but they'll be like, oh, Detroit was burned to the ground by Black Lives Matter protesters too. And as somebody who, I didn't go to Detroit, but a lot of the people from Detroit came up to Flint, and I was like, hey, we're gonna fucking meet them there, and we did. Yeah. No, Detroit did not get burned to the ground by Black Lives Matter protesters. Police were violent. Police were attacking people. Yeah, he's baby Jon Stewart. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, dude, no. This is complete and utter horse shit. You can show up to protest. That isn't what they did. Literally, the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers showed up, made sure that they had loaded guns in their hotel rooms for if shit went really badly, they could run back to their hotel rooms, grab their guns, and use them to fight the federal government. It was all a part of their plan. It just went so poorly that they didn't bother doing it. They were literally caught doing this. They videotaped themselves doing that and saying those exact things. You see the guns in the hotel rooms and them say, if shit goes down, we'll be ready. And this is how we'll be ready. Proof that these people do not, you know, they don't even watch the highlights of the January 6th Commission. Is it the end-all, be-all thing that people need to fucking pay attention to? No. But is it worth paying attention to? If the left, the right, yes. Yes. Because that thing happened. The thing about people that minimize January 6th don't realize is, if it would have gone well for them, the results would have been disastrous. Let's say they succeeded. If you're going to have an opinion on Jan 6th, the hearing highlights are at least the minimum. Bingo. Like, I've talked to conservatives on Twitter that been like, you know, when they talk about Jan 6th and just be like, you know, hey, have you actually watched any of the videos from January 6th? No. Okay, well, here's all this information that shows that exactly what you said is completely wrong and is verified not by, like, you know, Democrats messing with people, but literally video evidence taken from the people who were at the rally. Yeah. Yeah. Funny story about that. Anyways, he's going to spread some more conspiratorial shit, which is exactly... Does any of this sound anything like what we would not expect from Trump supporters?
Meaners. That's East Germany.
That's East Germany.
Tactics.
Yeah, that's what's scary.
It was a...
They're not being held prisoner for misdemeanors. That's not a thing. See, all this is lies. All this is lies. Also, if they're in prison for the misdemeanors, what are those misdemeanors? What did they do? Oh wait, did they actually do it, or was it Antifa? Was it Antifa infiltrating this group, or did these people get caught doing this often on video because there's video cameras, there's fucking security cameras all over the state building, because of course there are. Is Antifa in the room right now? Is the Antifa in the room right now? Conservatives be like, let's film ourselves doing crimes. Also, we're tough on crime. Deep state, deep fake, yeah.
An actual fiery but mostly peaceful protest.
Except for that one thing. That one thing that was encouraged by the president. The National Guard was slow rolled by him. More and more reports coming out that he did that on purpose in the hopes that they would, win. And Mike Pence wound up being the one to send the National Guard in. Yeah. Okay. Did you see the video of Trump's crowd busting out into the national anthem and mention of January 6th? I have not. Even Elizabeth from Knoxville knows that it's a revolution. Yeah. Kind of puts the rest of any theory that they think it was Antifa. It doesn't matter. They don't care. They don't care. They'll only say and whatever benefits their narrative. That's why it's simultaneously good, peaceful, and also Antifa, and also you're holding our people as political prisoners for misdemeanors, but also was Antifa that did it. They should be celebrating the fact that these people are in prison. If it was Antifa, you should be like, yeah, get them. But they know it's not. But they don't care about reality. It's all about the narrative.
And the other ones that were the opposite.
Was the protest legitimate in your eyes?
Administration,
because
I feel like, is using it as their Reichstag fire.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're using it as.
Do you think that President Trump could have quelled the violence that day?
Not him personally.
I don't think so, no.
I don't think so.
It started while he was still speaking.
See? You did. They compartmentalized so well. Marie Kondo approves, yeah.
I was actually there. I was there to see what I thought was going to be the last time I ever saw Trump, little did I know.
So did he tell everybody to go and start rioting?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, and it actually...
He told people to march up to the Capitol building and demand. And he said peacefully, but there was also all the other people who were saying, no, we need to make this chaos. We need to fight for our votes to matter. Yeah, the trial by combat line. Like I said, Charlie Kirk and all of them one day were like, oh, yeah, we need to take the fight to them. Go knock down their doors. Show them that we need to water the tree of liberty with the blood of tyrants. And then January 7th, all of a sudden they were like, well, there were definitely some bad actors out there. We were the peaceful ones. And come to think of it, I don't think any of the people that went into the Capitol building were actually were Trump they were actually MAGA. I don't think they actually were. In fact, I think they were Antifa. I think there were left-wing infiltrators. I have no proof of this, but you know, all the Trump people were not violent. Also, Ashley Babbitt should not have been killed for helping to break a window of the Capitol and crawling through when she was told not to, of a locked door of the Capitol building. Also, they weren't there. We were mostly peaceful, except for this one minor thing. I wish Antifa activists were as scary as these idiots make them out to be. Yeah, the funniest thing about this, and like the absolute funniest thing about what happened on January 6th was in the groups of counter protesters and anti-fascist action and all that, you know, BLM, all that, they were saying, stay home, don't go to DC, don't counter protest them, you know, it would be too dangerous, just stay home, let them do what they're going to do. That was the widespread message among them. So, if you got the actual Antifa people saying, no, don't go to DC on January 6th, and everyone saying, yeah, no, it's going to be a shit show, and then it turns out to be a shit show, and the only people there are the right-wingers, the MAGA heads. Gee, it sure sounds like that was Antifa, huh? In Detroit, there are actual Antifa aunties who bring water, snacks, and knitting. It's great. Yeah, I wish we had that sort of action in Flint, but I don't even know who they'd fight. It's like, you know, I wish I could go to some of the Detroit protests. My buddy Fernando does. He's gone to a few of them, but like, I just don't have the money. By the way, donate to the stream because we need to buy toiletries, and my wife's temporary disability insurance has not kicked in because they're trying everything they can to deny the claim for because mental health is not taken seriously in this country. Yeah, exclamation point dono if you have it to spare. Thank you.
I stayed for the whole speech, like a ton of people did. And then we all headed to the Capitol because he said, let's go to the Capitol and peacefully let our voices be heard. And we get to the Capitol and we're like, what the hell's going on? Because it had already happened.
I'm pretty sure I saw Democratic operatives instigating people to cross barriers.
What does a Democratic operative look like, bud? If you saw a Democratic operative, would you know? That seems suspicious to just say and not have any proof of. I saw Democratic operatives. Did you? Like who? You made the claim. Proceed to prove it. You know? Igloo, good to see you. Simon Acra, good to see you. They have donkey lapel pens. Yeah. I'd help if I could on fixed income myself, so I know how it is. Hope they get their head out of their asses and about your her benefits soon. Yeah. Yeah, we're hoping so too. It's been a pain in the ass. Josh, you know, and like I said, if you don't have it, don't worry. Josh Hawley with his fist in the air. That's what Democratic operatives look like. Him running away from them in the hallways because he was worried he was going to get murdered. Yeah. Just happened to ignore things like the gallows, the fact that they were calling for Mike Pence's head, you know, the literal Nazis that were there, the guns back at the hotel room from the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, the fact that the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys were there. Yeah, just the fact that the Oath Keepers and Proud Boys said that they were going to already march on the Capitol building, and they thought the police would back them up and just let them through, but they wound up having to fight the police the night before, and then they had to fight them that day. And they specifically did that before Trump was done speaking, for a reason, basically to set everything up to be the front line for when the rest of the protesters show up. That would make it easier. Yeah, that's all stuff that it's not even speculation, by the way, not even speculation on whether they did that or not.
We're in a similar boat, but I can pay a little forward. Less than 3.
Hey, I appreciate you, Jenny. Like I said, don't put yourself in bad financial straits on account of me. The help is appreciated, though. I really do appreciate that. Because, whoo boy, it's been it's been a problem. Good times. That's the end, pretty much. Yeah, that's the ending. Okay. Yeah. This is what happens when mainstream media hacks talk to anyone outside of their corporate media bubble about J6. This did not go as planned. No, they didn't say anything new. They said the exact same things that any right-winger, any MAGA Republican would say on MSNBC. They all have the same talking points. Anything to distract from what happened and what they were a part of. What they said, what they encouraged. Literally anything. Sean, good to see you. We live in a hellscape. We might as well put a cushion down for each other as we land. Yeah, seriously. Things are so expensive now. Anyways, let's talk about this thing that happened. Do you want to hear? Do you want to hear what pillow talk sounds like from Donald Trump? Here's him talking about his meeting with Kim Jong-un.
CIA says about Kim Jong-un that he's cunning, crafty, but ultimately stupid.
I disagree. He's cunning, he's crafty, and he's very smart. You know,
why does the CIA say that?
Because they don't know, okay? Because they don't know. They have no idea. I'm the only one that knows. I'm the only one he deals with. He won't deal with anybody else. The word chemistry. You meet somebody and you have a good chemistry. You meet a woman. In 1 second, you know whether or not it's all going to happen.
CIA says.
I knew when I first met Kim. I call him Kimmy. It's a cute little nickname that I have for him. That we were a match made in heaven. I want to be a dictator. He actually is one. He actually is one. And we just talked. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. To be a pair, Trump knows within a second because he either gets slapped or not when he grabs. Yeah. Rocket Man love letters.
Oh, they fucking.
Yep. Oh, they are. They absolutely are. Just two hams slapping. And then spin. All right, let's talk. Let's look at the highlights. I've got this. I've got a couple of clips that I got from the Fetterman Oz debate. Like I said earlier, I heard it didn't go the best because of Fetterman still having difficulties with his speech patterns. GFD, good to see you. So it sucks, but I'm hoping that they'll still recognize that Oz is obviously worse. So let's check this out.
Everyone who is watching tonight, to share your thoughts on social media, remember to use the hashtag PAC.
I'm running to serve Pennsylvania.
Jesus.
He's running to use Pennsylvania. And let's also talk about the elephant in the room. I had a stroke. He's never let me forget that. And I might miss some words during this debate, mush two words together, but it knocked me down, but I'm going to keep coming back up.
I'm running for the U.S. Senate because Washington keeps getting it wrong with extreme positions. John Fetterman takes everything to an extreme, and those extreme positions hurt us all. What we have to do is...
I don't know why that's so fucking quiet. Luckily, the things that they're saying aren't quiet.
Ensure that we don't have increased inflation, and the best way to do that is reduce gas prices. John Fetterman has gone after the energy industry, called it a stain on Pennsylvania.
He has never met an oil company that he doesn't swipe right about.
There should not be involvement from the federal government in how states decide their abortion decisions. I want women, doctors, local political leaders, letting the democracy that's always allowed our nation to thrive.
If you believe that the choice of your reproductive freedom belongs with Dr. Oz, then you have a choice. But if you believe that the choice for abortion belongs between you and your doctor, that's what I fight for.
Will you pledge tonight to release those records in the interest of transparency?
To me, for transparency is about showing up. I'm here today to have a debate. He keeps talking about Bernie Sanders. You know, 3 years ago, he was on his show, and he hugged him, and he said, I love this guy. You know what? Why don't you pretend that you live in Vermont instead of Pennsylvania and run against Bernie Sanders?
Pennsylvania only trails Texas in terms of natural gas production.
That was a strong point. I forgot that happened. But yeah, that's a strong point. The mods were definitely on Oz's side. I had heard that. And sorry you can't hear the questions. I don't know why that's a thing. Why doesn't Oz do that? Good point. Yeah. Enzo, good to see you. Yeah, the extreme positions, meaning the incredibly popular policies that the majority of Americans, even Republicans, agree with. Extreme. I once heard a girl say her dad gave her advice, saying, never think people are stupid, no matter how stupid they seem to be, when talking about Trump, because of how he won the election when we thought he couldn't. And honestly, I agree. Not saying he's legit smart, just smart in finding ways to be evil. I've always said that Donald Trump is not talentless. The thing that he has a consistent talent with is selling himself. He's great at marketing himself. Sucks at everything else. But what happened to get Trump elected was the perfect shitstorm of right place, right time, wrong candidate. Like, we have this push against corruption because, people were still suffering after the 2008 crisis, and Barack Obama didn't do enough to fix it. People were upset. People were sick of the corruption. They saw the corruption increase under Obama. And he didn't do anything about it. Didn't even attempt to. They could have cut it off at the time, but, he's like, I don't want to make sure that the donors, if the donors give me the money, I can't win elections. So we'll leave it to the next person. Hopefully it's a Democrat. I hope so. I'm not too worried. Republicans are my friends. They're my golf partners, you see. I go out golfing with Mitch McConnell on a Sunday, and then by Monday he's calling me a terrorist and destroying America. I don't get it. I don't understand. Fever will break. Fever would break. Like, it was the perfect storm. That's how you get Trump elected. The DNC pushed Hillary onto us. Yeah. There was a lot of the thumb on the scale shit that the DNC did during the primary to keep Bernie out. Bernie was in the right place, probably at the wrong time. Both times. I think if the pandemic happened a few months earlier, Bernie would have marched his way to win, because Medicare for all would be the perfect thing to want at a time when healthcare was so important. Like, if it happened a couple months earlier, if the explosion of COVID had been a couple months earlier, I'd like to think that Bernie would have done a lot better. But yeah, Hillary Clinton was a terrible candidate. Just the worst.
I strongly support fracking, drilling, the piping of that natural gas.
I do support fracking, and I support fracking, and I do support fracking. I'm the only person on...
that was an unfortunate answer. Part of the reason Bernie got the traction he did in 2016 was because the Clinton machine kept the field small. Yeah.
On this stage right now.
It was her turn.
It was successful about pushing back against gun violence and being the community more safe. You know, all he's done is just put a plan up on his website in the last 24 hours.
Part of the problem is that we have taken away the ability of police to do their job, and that's on John Fetterman. Because John Fetterman has taken such a harsh position against them. He's undermined them at every level. I would support...
That is not... No. That's not true at all. What? Harassing POC and shooting our dogs? Yes. That job. He was too soft on Republicans. You would get accused of being racist if you criticized Obama. I never got accused of being racist for criticizing him. But like, I was called plenty of other things. Emo prog. Let's see here. What was the other one? The professional left. That was a big one that was pushed. The professional left. You know, it was the people who were like, hey, could you do like the bare minimum to help people after a giant housing crisis that they're still suffering from and will take decades for them to recover from? And they were like, listen to the professional left. They're going to call Obama a socialist. They call Obama a socialist already. It doesn't matter what you do. They're going to say that. It's just rhetoric. It doesn't mean anything. The professional left, I vaguely remember that. Yeah. It was a whole thing. Emo progs and the professional left.
Donald Trump if he decided to run for president.
All right.
But this is bigger than one candidate.
My campaign is all about fighting for anyone in Pennsylvania that ever got knocked down, that had to get back up again. You know, I'm also fighting for any forgotten community all across Pennsylvania.
Ask yourself this and others in your family. Are you unhappy with where America's headed? I am. And if you are as well, then I'm the candidate for change.
What change? What changed? I love when they talk about like what they would do to change things and like, oh, I will make sure that things will be better. Okay, what are you going to do? well, I will make sure to fight for every American. Okay, can you give me specifics on what exactly you're going to fight for that you think every American wants? I will stand up against these boogeymen and tell them no. No. Okay, but that's not a policy. What is your policy that you're actually going to do? Tax cuts and deregulation. But I'll do it while saying all the right things that make people wave an American flag and start beating their dicks off to George Washington. Every single Republican. That's every single Republican. They don't ever actually talk about plans. They talk about the things they hate. I'm going to go and fight the corruption. How are you going to do that? By fighting it. How? I'm going to fight it. I'm going to write a strongly worded letter and that says I'm going to fight. So you're just going to write a letter that's exactly what you're saying now. Yes! That'll show them. Put them on timeout for 30 seconds, yeah. If we have to elect a TV personality, it should be Jesse Ventura. His campaign ads were fucking bonkers. I get the impetus behind that. Jesse Ventura has said some things. Just look up his quotes. They're enlightening about it. Republican ads and other factors caused me nightmares last night. Oh, I'm sorry. Anyways, let's break down one of the quotes that we heard. This one.
I want women, doctors, local political leaders, letting the democracy that's always allowed our nation to thrive, to put the best ideas forward so states can decide for themselves. I want...
That's him talking about abortion. Listen to all... I hate the bureaucracy. But how many people do you want in between women's health and their choices for their health? How many people do you want in there?
Women, doctors, local political leaders, letting the democracy that's always allowed our nation to thrive.
So the women are one part of it, and the rest, the women and the doctors are there, okay. And then there's the rest of the state that's in your business. Which I would ask him a follow-up. Do you support a federal, because you're going to be in the federal government, do you support, would you vote for a federal abortion ban? So when states decide for themselves, we end up with Texas. Yeah. Oh, and apparently we need to make room for Jesus. I remember that from high school. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You have to make sure that you could fit a person between you. Otherwise, it's inappropriate. He would say yes. I think he would dodge the question because that doesn't work well. Republicans have been doing everything they could to minimize the impact of Roe v. Wade being overturned by saying, no, we just want to leave it up to the states. Yeah. So they do everything they can to say, no, we're not going to have the federal government do this. And then in the background, people like Lindsey Graham come out and are completely undermining that talking point by putting out federal bans. And oh yeah, there's a bunch of MAGA Republicans who got together and said that their agenda includes a federal ban on abortion. Yeah. There's what they say, and then there's what they do. Who knew they were liars? Besides people who actually listen and can comprehend things. I mean, okay, but I'm fat and have a twin size mattress, so Jesus is gonna be up against the wall. Yeah, Jesus is gonna have some issues. I don't know why Jesus wants to join everyone's threesome. He should probably get tested. Yeah. Don't give me that divine condom bullshit. I don't believe that. You told Jenny down the street that you had a divine condom on and she was pissing wine for a week. I don't know if that's a good joke or not, but I'm just going to go with. All right. Let's, so John Fetterman's quotes, he started out with some strong quotes, but it, like, he had a stroke, you know, and all we can do is hope that how he's viewed is more sympathetic and recognizing that he's getting better and it doesn't affect his decision making. I'm begging for a review / roast of a stupid conservative movie or documentary on stream. Oh man, that sounds like torture. Remind me in the Discord. I'll look into it. Maybe we'll have to make that the sub goal. Would that encourage people to sub if I said that I would do a react to a conservative movie? Jesus, that isn't divine fire. That's a clap. Go to the doctor. Yep. I'm terrified Republicans will win in the polls. Constantly having ads in my emails just as overbearing. Yeah.
Big whoop. Wanna fight about it?
Anarchist Laboratory Sean gifted a tier 1 sub to on_ here.
Sean, thank you for gifting a sub to... Oh, you... Wait, what? To on here? Oh, on here. Enjoy that sub. Thanks for that. I appreciate you. How much is your soul worth? Oh boy. I don't know who that is, but they got a sub. Yeah. Maybe they're cool. Maybe they're a lurker and they like hearing the sound of my voice and they're just like, well, I'm a little shy. And I understand that. Lurkers, we don't call out the lurkers. We acknowledge their existence with love and understanding. Calm love, because you don't want to scare them away. They're timid. All right. Let's move on to my state of Michigan, where no one on the stage is having to recover from a stroke leading to bad optics. Big Gretch against Tudor Dixon.
So it seems there are some lingering questions about Proposal 3. If it passes in just a few weeks, how will you legislate if portions of that proposal have to work their way through the courts?
Well, let me start with this. Proposal 3 is absolutely necessary to preserve the rights we've had for 49 years under Roe v. Wade. When the Supreme Court decided to upend it and overrule Roe, Michigan was poised to revert back to a 1931 law that makes abortion a felony. No exceptions for rape or incest, throwing doctors and nurses in jail. The only reason it's not in effect right now is because of my lawsuit. We have an opportunity to enshrine Roe into law by supporting ballot initiative 3. Now, the other side will say all sorts of wild-eyed things that are not true. Parental rights and consent will still be effective. We know that regulations will still be in effect. The simple truth is the way to protect women and ensure that future generations have the same rights we've had for 49 years is by adopting Proposal 3, and I will be a yes vote.
Mrs. Dixon?
Not bad.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we're not being honest about what Proposal 3 is. The governor has just been dishonest with you in her very first answer. We know that Proposal 3 does remove parental consent. It also makes it...
It does not.
so that you don't have to be a doctor to perform an abortion. But
Does it? Does it? How does what? How does it do that? Miss Dixon, can you answer that question? How does it make it so that people who aren't doctors can give abortions? You know, a medical procedure? Can you expand on that thought, baby? Where in the language does it state that? You know what does cause people to get abortions by people who are not doctors? Banning it. Under Proposal 3, you can get abortions at Walgreens. True story. Yeah. I would love for there to be a follow-up. Ma'am, where does it say in Proposal 3? Like, we've looked at it on stream before. Language, Proposal 3, Michigan. We'll look it up again. Let's make sure that I'm not missing something about the language here of Proposal 3. Oh, that's not the full language. Full language of the Proposal 3. A yes vote would support providing a state constitutional right to reproductive freedom, which is defined as the right to make and effectuate decisions about all matters relating to pregnancy, including but not limited to prenatal care, childbirth, postpartum care, contraception, sterilization, abortion care, miscarriage management, and fertility care. I want to hear anywhere in there that you could get an abortion from someone who's not a doctor. I'm pretty sure that's already a felony, ma'am. It's called practicing medicine illegally. Nobody that isn't a doctor is performing abortions. Yeah, seriously. Sometimes parents and other caregivers are better left out of the decision making of their kids. That is true. I do believe that. But this initiative does not in any way cause that at all. Not even close. Like, what? Where did she get that interpretation from? So, Big Gretch over here is just like, yeah, hey, she's gonna tell you a bunch of lies, but here's the truth and everything. And she goes, that's all a lie. Now let me tell you a bunch of lies and prove her point. There is language in the bill that protects nurse practitioners and midwives from prosecution for performing abortions improperly, but it's necessary. I wish they'd bring that out. But they... A nurse practitioner can open a practice and perform medicine like a doctor, but they have to do it under the supervision of a doctor. Midwives, same deal. All of them are still working under the auspices of a doctor's professional license. They cannot operate without that because of the nature of what their job is. That is not the same as, not to mention all the amount of schooling that is involved in becoming a nurse practitioner, which is a master's PhD level in nursing practice and nursing science. Yeah. They're pretty much doctors. They're pretty much doctors. But they also work under doctors. It's insane. That's where they get that interpretation from. Because they're not called doctors, even though, like I said, you have to have a PhD in nursing science in order to be a nurse practitioner. So you are actually technically doctor, but a doctor of nursing, which means you're like above physician's assistant. Like, it's... Whew. This is more for medical, not surgical abortions. They need less supervision, but still need supervision. Like Plan B and shit like that. Yeah, yeah. That's a good point, too. Like, there's no nurse practitioner surgeon doing that. Like, and even if there were, like, they would have the training. They would have the training. So again, it's a lie. It's a lie by not understanding how all this works. Yeah, not some rando at 7-Eleven. It's almost like conservatives read the legislation and are purposely misrepresenting it to their base to get them all whipped up into a frenzy. Yep. God, I hope Michigan isn't stupid for once and actually votes right.
But it does align with her agenda. Her past, she's voted against a ban on partial birth abortion. And
she is correct in doing so.
Proposal 3 allows abortion up to the moment of birth for any...
It's the same lies. It's all the same lies. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, partial birth abortion. We've been hearing it for decades. It always gets debunked over and over again. Be like, hey, no one decides while they're in the process of labor that they want to abort their child. The only reason they would do that is if there was complications that was going to that the child was already dead, and the mother would die if it didn't happen. This is debunked over and over again. No one is doing that. It's insane. Yeah, she sucks.
Any reason, including sex selection. There will be no legislating around Proposal 3
Wait, what was that?
And Proposal 3 allows abortion up to the moment of birth for any reason, including sex selection.
Including sex selection. So, another thing that she thinks left-leaning people do is abort their children based on what sex they are. Right. That's pretty fucking dumb. That's not a thing that's happening.
There will be no legislating around Proposal 3 because it will be language in the Constitution. So we can't put those protections that we've had in place back in place, that we've had in place for all of these years. So when Governor Whitmer tells you...
But literally, it's a thing that's made things better. I cannot stress this enough. There's been more than a fair share of studies on this. Abstinence-only education and abortion bans increase teen pregnancy and abortions. It literally has the opposite of effect of what they claim it will. Also, it increases the maternal mortality rate and the infant mortality rate. Proven time and time again, the states in this country that have the lowest teen pregnancy rate and the lowest amount of abortions are the ones that have the least amount of reproductive restrictions and have comprehensive sex ed. Because then people know not to do risk-taking behavior. Kids know not to do risk-taking behavior. If you just assume that telling them not to do it is enough, and they're just not going to, you know, the teenagers that are being pile-driven by fucking hormones, telling them to do the thing that their body wants them to do, because they're adjusting to horny being added to all the other emotions that they felt in their lifetime, and it just happens to be overclocked like fucking crazy. Like, to not fuck, you're telling them not to fuck against their body's wishes, and you're not providing them with the means to do it safely, or teaching them about what can happen if they don't do it safely. They still do it, but they do it in a way that's not safe. Look, teenagers are gonna fuck. They've always fucked. It's always been a thing. We can't stop them. No amount of telling them no is going to cause a fucking thing. That is the time of their sexual development. Maybe allow them more choice over their own bodies in that instance, when they're fighting their own body already to not do this thing. They could actually do it safely and have more choice in what happens in their life. Maybe. Because that's reality. You know, if anyone wants to challenge me on it, I can very easily find the several studies that show over and over again that comprehensive sex education, it decreases the amount of abortions, and it decreases the amount of STDs, and it decreases teenage pregnancy. Turns out you just need to let hormonal teenagers explore their own bodies as well as each other's. And, you know, pretend that shaming them out of it is going to do a goddamn thing. It doesn't work like that. Colorado did it. What do you mean? Sex ed was glorified abstinence training when I was in school. Hey, Doodles, good to see you. Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember how ours went. It wasn't abstinence only in Michigan. I will say that. I think it was a mixed curriculum sort of deal. Reduce teen pregnancy and all sorts of with comprehensive education. Yep. Yeah. One of the many states that did it. I believe California did it too. All the states with the highest amount of teenage STIs, teenage pregnancy, and teenage abortions are the states that try to fight against it. And they're all Republican controlled. My niece is 16, and the only thing I told her was if she needs condoms to come talk to me, and I'll buy them for her. I'd rather she's having safe sex than bottling it up. Yep. Ours was our gym teacher spending 2 days being too ashamed to talk about tampons, refusing to model a condom on a banana, and then scaring us about STDs. Yeah. we had the teacher we had was she was pretty progressive. Like, keep in mind, this is, you know, early 2000s, late 90s. And she was pardon me for not knowing a better way to say this, but she was a butch lesbian, which of course caused some background teasing from all of us, even though looking back, she was nice as hell and she did a really good job. She was a solid teacher, but you know, kids, early 2000s, it was the whole thing. But like, she did a really good job when I look back. I actually ran out of the room when they showed the birthing footage and the afterbirth came out. I was fine with the baby, like it was gross to me, but the afterbirth was where I lost it, and I was like, I need to leave. I can't watch this. Now, considering that story, did I do the same thing when that happened with my own child? No. Kind of just get over shit. Also, I've seen far more disgusting things at this point. They mentioned condoms and birth control, but we're heavily abstinence focused. Jesus, I'm in Indiana for those who don't know. Yeah. If states teach comprehensive sex ed, kids will opt into abstinence themselves in some cases. Give them the tools to understand consent and safety, and they're pretty good at making the right decisions for themselves. Yeah, it's almost like providing information gives people power to understand how to express that. Having all the information. Yep. Oh, I bet California's in the top 10. Oh, wait. Here's the top states. Let's see here. Let me find all the Democrat states. Okay. Still looking. Let's see here. No, not Missouri, not South Dakota. No, Indiana's not a Democrat state. Georgia is a purple state right now, but Wyoming, Kansas, Alaska, Ohio, North Carolina, Nevada. Oh, there's one. Nevada. Ha! See? It's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It's number 21. See? It doesn't work. We start teaching consent in preschool. Yeah. Honestly, I wish they would have just taught us girls that we are actually not expected to be sexually active to make our partners happy. Yeah, like I said, the majority of people, the majority of teenagers, if you tell them not to do something and you just say don't do it and you don't provide any information other than that, they're absolutely gonna fucking do it anyway. I can turn down the brightness a little bit. There we go. Not so washed out because it's actually brighter out now. It's better than the Duggar boys who just be on the computer on their phone or sitting in their living room while their wife struggles with doing a home birth in the bathroom or in bed. They'd be like, has she delivered yet, to the midwives? That's ridiculous. Abstinence-focused sex ed just made talking about sexual encounters seem taboo. So rather than learning what is and is not appropriate and expected, we were basically just pigeonholed into being victims of sexual exploitation by hormone crazy peers. Yep. If you tell a teenager no, their response 99% of the time is bitch watch me. Yep. Especially with sex. Especially with sex. Like I said, your body's raging with hormones and going, you know, hey, you've never felt this amount of horny before, or horny really at all, but you're gonna feel it now. I want you to get used to that being something that you feel. And it's like, I'm too horny. You know? There. Michigan's near the bottom. Not bad. Let's see here. California's near the bottom, and who's doing the best? Massachusetts. Yep. Hey, look, it's Vermont. The Bernie Sanders state. Oh, and there's New York, the other, you know, liberal hellscape, where all the children are fucking. All the sexualization of children. I'm more worried my niece will be creeped on by an adult. I'm not worried about what she does with her boyfriends and girlfriends if it's consensual. Yeah, same. I hold that same stance with Eli. I would just be like, you know, look, here's what you can do this safe. You can talk to me about this stuff. Don't be afraid of any of that. And don't be ashamed of your feelings or your body. Let's hear what else this crazy lady has to say.
That this is going to be Roe. It's not even close to Roe. It's not codifying Roe in our Constitution.
Iowa? I wasn't looking specifically for it, but let's go ahead and see Iowa. Oops. Gotta reverse it. Iowa's actually doing slightly better than Michigan. How about that?
But it would be the most radical abortion law in the entire country.
It would not.
The only place that has something similar are China and North Korea.
No.
Governor Whitmer, you have 30 seconds to rebut if you'd like to.
Absolutely. None of what she just said is true. And here's why you can't trust anything she's saying when it comes to reproductive rights. She's the one that said a 14-year-old child raped by her uncle is a perfect example of someone who should not have reproductive rights and the ability to choose. She went further to say it is healing for a person who's raped to carry that child to term. I couldn't disagree more, and she's proven you cannot trust her on this issue. You want to protect Roe v. Wade rights? Vote yes on 3.
Thank you, Governor. Mrs. Dixon.
Short, simple, strong. Good job.
You have 30 seconds to rebut.
The people will decide what they want to do on abortion rights in the state of Michigan. Abortion rights will be decided by Proposal 3, or it will be decided by a judge. We already know that that's the case in the state of Michigan.
In other words, what she's saying there, this is fucked up for her to actually admit. She should not have said this. What she's saying is, if you vote yes on this, it won't matter because we'll challenge it in court and get it knocked down. You know, because of states' rights. It's, just let the democratic process play out and let people vote on it and decide for themselves. Oh, you decided against what I believe? Well, I'm going to make sure to sue the state. I'm going to make sure to take it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court's going to knock down your state decision. I meant states' rights to decide what I want you to do. Why does a judge need to decide what a team does? Yeah, exactly. I'm wondering how New Mexico is doing among teen pregnancy. The links, scroll up and find Lord posted the link. We only have a half an hour left, so I don't want to spend all our time doing that. If you vote for Prop 3, we will sue the state to prevent it from happening. States' rights, unless we don't like what you decide. Yeah, she should not have admitted that. She should not have said that. Oh, she's the ultimate Karen. Yeah, she's like, she's not quite like the final boss of Karens, but she's like a level boss.
The governor has the most radical opinion of abortion. She was asked twice in the last debate if she had any limits on abortion. She refused to answer because she has no limits on abortion. So when she calls me extreme, the truth is that there's no more extreme position than Governor Whitmer's on abortion.
All right.
Doug, your question to Ms. Dixon.
Let's stick with abortion. It's, of course, a very potent issue right now, and you'll appear on the ballot right next to it. Very simple question. We danced around it just a moment ago in both of your answers, but I want to know, in your case, Mrs. Dixon, if Proposal 3 passes or any of these court battles work out in the favor of the governor or any of these groups seeking to codify abortion rights in Michigan, will you accept that as the will of the people?
Absolutely.
Will you? Will you really?
The governor or any of these groups seeking to codify abortion rights in Michigan, will you accept that as the will of the people?
Absolutely. I've said that from the very beginning. There are no laws that I say I think that I'm more powerful than that. I know the governor has gone around laws before, and
she's referencing the fact that Big Gretch was not exactly the most forthcoming regarding her, participation in COVID restrictions. Which, yeah, separate criticism, but yes, a criticism. Regardless, you've already said either the people are going to decide or the court's going to decide. You've already undermined anything that you say here. Oh, no, I would never. I would absolutely accept those results unless it looked like I'm waiting for her to get into that. Unless it looked like it was fraudulent, blah, blah, blah. She didn't answer because your question was fucking stupid and she knew you were asking in bad faith. Yeah. It was already the law of the land. Why didn't you accept it then? Well, we just believe that the federal government shouldn't be making these decisions, which is why we also want to make sure that we roll back all the federal protections against slavery in the United States. We don't want slavery. We just think it should be decided on a state-by-state basis. Would this have the unexpected impact of enacting slavery back into the United States of America? I think that is up to the voters, who are majority white and would not be subject to slavery.
in fact gone around the Constitution and doesn't believe that the governor is beholden to law or Constitution. But I do not feel that way.
Side, yeah.
Absolutely. If this is what the people want, then I will enforce that.
And of course, conversely, if Proposal 3 fails, if any of these lawsuits don't work out in the favor of yourself or any of these groups seeking, again, to codify abortion rights, will you accept that as the will of the people, Governor?
I will always accept the will of the people. I think you're asking a really interesting question, though. When you say, will you accept the will of the people, I think that is a question that should be posed to Mrs. Dixon. She refuses to accept the outcome of the last election. She has not yet said she will accept the outcome of the next election. So when she says she will accept the will of the people, she is an election denier and does never, ever has said that Joe Biden actually won this last election. Now let's go back to abortion rights. First of all, this isn't about me. This is about all the women and girls in our state. This is about the ability to have bodily autonomy, be treated as a full American citizen. Mrs.
Yeah, she's making a good point here. I was wondering how she was going to answer, because I was shocked. I was shocked that he turned that question on her. Like, wait a minute, these are not the same things. These are not the same things. One is removing reproductive rights from pregnant people. The other one, you know, is giving them back their rights. You can't pretend like this is a, you know, two sides issue on this. Because, yeah, we're not going to stop fighting for that because it's heavily detrimental to the health of pregnant people in this country to not do that. It harms them. It increases the maternal mortality rate. It increases the infant mortality rate. It's already doing that in the states that have already passed abortion bans. It's already doing that. Exactly what every single medical professional has been saying would happen regarding, oh, if you put in life of the mother, blah, blah, blah. Every single one. We've said that's not enough because you can't define what is and isn't a point when the life of the mother is threatened. That has led to people having to deliver stillborn children and just monitor for if the already dead fetus within them, you know, starts to decay too much and they get an infection from it. Because they're too worried about removing that already dead fetus that's just sitting in there, because that is considered an abortion. Baby's dead. It has ceased to be. It is no more. Yeetus fetus before they end up deceasedest. That didn't quite work. Hey, you know what's super fucked up? Forcing someone to give birth to a child corpse. That's a nightmare fuel. Yeah. And it's happened. We said, hey, this is something that could happen because doctors will be too worried about going to prison for performing an abortion based on these very wide definitions of what you mean by fucking the life of the mother. And they're like, oh, well, that's on the doctors. No, it's not. No, it's not. You threw this threat of incarceration against them for doing this. So they consult lawyers first. They have to consult lawyers first. Out of the chance that you're like, well, their life wasn't actually threatened. Maybe it could have been down the line, but their life wasn't actually threatened at this point. You should have just let it play out. It's like there is no plague out. A dead fetus doesn't grow. It's one of the key things that, you know, happens to force a pregnancy. And then what? We wait for them to go septic. And the amount of things that can happen in an infection, up to including death. Once you're septic, it's almost already too late. There can be excess damage just from hitting that point. But hey, now you fully met the requirements of your life being threatened. Cool, you checked the box. Reality kills me to see such catastrophic nonsense at play. Yeah. Sarah, so who's on the ballot? Well, there's a Dem versus a guy who wants to replace Social Security with senior citizen street fights. Then there's a Dem versus a woman who openly admires Hitler and wants a 10-child minimum to repopulate the white race. And there's a Dem versus an insurrectionist QAnon guy who vows to smite the Bidens, the DOJ, CDC, FBI, EPA, and the UN before the rapture next year. And these races are close. Yeah, we should vote early if we can get past the armed vigilantes poll watching the ballot box. I pulled it up, right? Maybe I didn't. If you're at all curious about what that last line meant, you're like, oh, clearly that's an exaggeration. That's not actually happening. Caitlin Bennett. Hey, it's Poop Girl. Thank you for the follow. I hope you wash your ass, because if anyone needs it. But yeah, this is the shit that they're talking about.
Why did you decide? Arizona, 2 men armed, wearing tactical gear, watching voters. A vigil taking place over multiple nights.
Hi guys.
One woman, a Phoenix area grandmother, decided to confront them.
Okay. Hey, don't touch me.
Why did you decide to go out there?
I'm standing up and pushing back against those people and standing up for everybody's right to vote. You don't mind if I set up right here, do you? Without fear of retaliation or any kind of intimidation. Hi, how are you?
She asked we not show her face because she did this. Went right up in the armed man's face.
You know, I don't talk. I take care of business. I go out there and I do what I have to do. Nice to meet you. I push back against these kind of people who are intimidated.
That's weird. Why are they hiding their faces? You'd think that they would be proud that they were standing up to protect the elections. And yet they're like, don't look at me. Don't look at me. Parrot's got camera eyes that go in opposite directions and has text-to-speech installed. You're telling me they're not a Fed bot? What? Don't these men have anything better to do? Nope. These patriots are bitch made. Oppress me with your whole chest, Whitey. Yep. I've I heard a maybe I'll play it in a minute. I heard a TikTok like that.
Intimidating voters. You know, he's putting that in my face. I'm sitting down. He's with a gun standing over top of me. And I'm standing up and pushing back against those people and standing up for everybody's right to vote without fear of retaliation or any kind of intimidation. I'm just sitting here. I'm not even communicating with them. I'm sitting right here. You know, seeing that, you would think you were in, you know, some autocratic nation and not the United States of America.
Why were you covering your license plate? That's weird. Why don't you want to be identified? I thought you were a proud American. Huh. That's weird. Almost like you just want to intimidate people and not get any retaliation against you so that you can discourage people who don't vote like you to not come and vote. Because I'm sure if a black person approached that ballot box, they would be like, hey, wait. You're gonna need to see some ID. No, you can't vote without any ID. I gotta make sure to check it. You gotta make sure it's actually you. And you're gonna need to hand your ballot to me. Who am I? I'm here to watch. I'm here to make sure that this election is fair. like, let me ask you, if you had to deal with that bullshit when you went to the ballot box, would you just like want to? Would that encourage you to vote, to want to vote, or would it discourage you? We know the answer. We know what this is for. These are lazy Twitter racists, not even high quality racists. Yeah. I feel like it would take me too long to
Arizona.
to
Two
look
men.
up. Whoop, fuck. But yeah, so what this comic is referencing is something that is actually happening. So thank you, Lord, for providing that. Let's see the rest of this.
Ms. Dixon will tell you here that she'll abide by whatever happens with regard to ballot initiative 3. Behind closed doors, she tells her radical special interest group she will do anything necessary to curtail abortion rights. The governor absolutely matters to this right. My lawsuit's the only reason it's not.
Do so at your own risk, File. That'd be funny. And make sure to get video of it. But do so. Know that people will have a reaction. Reminds me of that drag show being protested. Then armed leftists showed up to protect the place. Then the right-wing protesters started bitching their diapers full. Second Amendment advocates, huh? Yeah, true, A. True. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what the best way to shorten your name is. Ain't nobody got time for all that. Yeah. It's just Oh. Hang on a second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Calls from the wife take precedence. Anyways. Or maybe I could get a literal mule and have papers sticking out of its side saddle pockets and walk towards it. Yeah, like I said, do so. Make sure that it's filmed and that you have backup. Yeah, just be careful. But yeah, I do love the whole thing about them getting pissy about leftists coming and protecting that drag show, because they literally showed up to intimidate them, and they were like, "Nah, bruh, you ain't coming anywhere near this place." And they're like, "But that's what we're supposed to do. It's us that has all the guns. The left can't have guns. Why? Oh, no." This is unfair. They're trying to argue on equal grounding. That's not how this is supposed to work. We're supposed to have all the power. Fuck those people. Absolutely. Like, the craziest thing about this is, like, they don't need to do that. They don't need, no one asked them to do that. They've been sold a lie, and they just refuse to believe the fact that, hey, wait a minute, I have no evidence to my claims, but I keep claiming it as true because I believe it's true. And it's not, the deep state. That's the reason why I don't have any evidence. It's the fact that it's not true. Anyways.
Effect right now. Will she sign laws abridging that right?
Thank you, Governor. Ms. Dixon, I'd like to give you your 30 seconds, of course, to rebut, but just one thing to throw in. You said you don't support criminalizing abortion. That's exactly what this 1931 law in the books does. So in your rebuttal, I would also like to know if you would make any changes to that.
I would like to comment on Gretchen Whitmer and her demeanor tonight coming out.
Interesting start. I do like him pointing that out. Let's see if she answers it. I'm gonna guess no.
After me calling me an election denier, we know that this is going to be the way the evening goes. But I'm wondering when.
But you do deny that Joe Biden won the election. You by definition, that is what you do.
And she will say that she can't run with Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist anymore, because I would believe that he's
over on
also an
Rob
election
Russo's,
denier, since he came out in 2017 and asked for a recount. In fact, he said that the election system in Detroit was, I think the quote is, in complete chaos. So I'm wondering if she's going to say that she can no longer run with an election denier.
Thank you for that.
We found this one person that denied the election in 2016. Are you gonna point that out and stop? Because he said it once, and then he accepted the results after the recount, because the election was incredibly close in Michigan. The reason they demanded the recount was because of how close it was in Michigan. That wasn't election denying. He wasn't saying, no, that can't be true. He said, we need to do a recount to make sure that this is correct. And then when they did, guess what? They said, oh. Carry on. That's not election denying. We are 2 fucking years into Joe Biden's presidency, and you motherfuckers are still saying he didn't win the election, and you have no evidence. How is that the same thing? My brain hurts. Can 2020 be fucking over? I'm tired. Same. Lordy, I am tired. I swear. Having to relitigate 2020 so many times. It's as annoying as constantly having to relitigate 2016 over and over again with liberals. So stupid. It's so stupid. They just... Neither one of them can admit that the left's right about all this. They've been correct. Hey, look, we accepted what happened to Bernie Sanders both times. We pointed out that there were definitely a number of things that happened during the primaries that were very much unfair, and very much tipped the scales in certain people's favor. We pointed out that, the media was, also tipping the scales towards one specific person. I don't know, maybe Chris Matthews talking about how if Bernie Sanders wins, he's going to be dragged out into Central Park and shot, had some sort of effect. He was only a major mainstream media figure for 30 fucking years. Not to mention all the other shit that they said. We point that stuff out and we're like, oh, you're election deniers. And it's like, no. We're not saying that the votes were wrong. We're not saying that someone came in there and changed the goddamn votes. We're not saying that the votes were faked. We're not saying any of that. We're saying that you pushed an agenda that was wholly against one single person without actually getting into what was good about them. You did not do fair reporting. They weren't treated fairly during that primary. That's what I'm saying. That's not denying the election. I don't deny that Democrats voted for, in the end, majority Joe Biden. But what I am saying is, hey, when the person who was actually in second place with delegates drops out to allow the fourth place person with delegates and endorses him along with 4 other candidates, that something seems a little off. And then we come to find out that all of this was orchestrated by Barack Obama calling all these candidates and telling them to do that, saying it was for the good of the party. Never forget that Pete Buttigieg, the week before Super Tuesday, had the second most delegates behind Bernie Sanders. Joe Biden had won one state, South Carolina. One state. Russia Gay, Birdie Bros, bitch, Pied Piper. Yeah, seriously. It's tiring. The end of 2022 is not enough. We need the rapture. Yeah. Feels that way. Anyways. Let's hear the rest of her answer. Let's see if she ever answers that question.
30 seconds to you, Governor.
That's silly. I'm going to stay focused.
Wait, that was her whole answer? Blink and you miss it.
Criminalizing abortion. That's exactly what this 1931 law in the books does. So in your rebuttal, I would also like to know if you would make any changes to that.
I would like to comment on Gretchen Whitmer and her demeanor tonight, coming after me, calling me an election denier. We know that this is going to be the way the evening goes, but I'm wondering when she will say that she can't run with Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist anymore, because I would believe that he is also an election denier, since he came out in 2017 and asked for a recount. In fact, he said that the election system in Detroit was, I think the quote is, in complete chaos. So I'm wondering if she's going to say that she can no longer run with an election denier.
Thank you for that. 30 seconds to you, Governor.
Quick reminder that the question was, you say that you're not for criminalizing abortion, but you also support this law that would criminalize abortion. Would you change that if you became governor, or would you just accept that you were fucking lying the entire time and be like, no, actually this is good. I'm actually good with the whole criminalizing abortion thing. Oh, and before we finish up, just going to remind people again that we are still currently fighting the disability insurance company, the short-term disability insurance company, to help pay the money that is owed to me and my wife for her being off because of mental health issues. So if you could donate to the stream, it'd be greatly appreciated. ! Dono. And don't do it if you don't have the money. But if you can do it, greatly appreciated. And I will love you forevers and evers and evers. And always and forevers. I hope that's enough, because I don't know what else I could do. I just have no idea.
That's silly. I'm going to stay focused on fighting to make sure that women in the state still have the ability to make our own decisions about our bodies and our futures. Let's be very clear. The right to have reproductive choice is important for women of all ages from all walks of life. We know that women who go through IVF have to sometimes have selective reduction to increase the odds that they take a baby to term. We know that women who have a partial abortion, partial miscarriage, need an abortion. This will impact us all.
Thank you, Governor. Chuck.
Hey, look, she actually addressed the question that was asked of her opponent instead of just being like, her demeanor is bad, and will you say that you won't run with this person who didn't deny the election but just asked for a recount because it was a really close election? Like, it was Donald Trump won by something like a couple thousand votes. It was incredibly close here. Of course they were going to call for a recount because they want to make sure that those numbers are correct. Easy to address the question when you have the courage of your convictions. Yep. Yep. We'll hopefully get to this on Friday for more nonsense with Tudor Dixon and Governor Whitmer. I still say that Dixon doesn't have a fucking chance in the world. Like, not at all. Not at all. It's also worth recognizing that there's a lot of us who were people who worked during the entire pandemic who were able to, well, during the height of the pandemic, when people actually gave a shit about it, who got free college because of it. And that is kind of on the line for those of us who got the Future for Frontliners payments for college. So if you're thinking at all about sitting out in Michigan, a known purple state, known battleground state, please don't. Please don't. I get like the districts and all that, or blah 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 blah. I get that that's stuff that, you know, makes your vote count less, but the governor is decided by a simple majority. Please vote for Gretchen Whitmer. Please don't take, because she will absolutely take away my ability to go to school and many others' ability to go to school. And we have a national nursing shortage. So I'm not saying vote blue no matter who, but just help. Please, pretty please. All right, let's find somebody to raid. Clear out some of these, because it is my time to get going. Man, I really hope that that performance by Fetterman doesn't hamper him. So I mean, he's still recovering, but he's expected to have a full recovery. What the fuck's he supposed to do about the timing of a stroke, you know? Just know that Dr. Oz is fucking garbage. Where do I want to send you guys? Well, somebody mentioned Rob Rousseau earlier, and I don't think I've ever rated Rob Rousseau. So why don't we do that? Why don't we do that? Let's get on Rob's radar. His Robdar, if you will. That's dumb. I'm okay with it, but it's dumb. I know it's dumb. Let's see how you spell it. R-U-S-S-E-A-U. All right. I appreciate... I may have typed in Rib Rousseau. Oops. I'm a little hungry. Leave me alone. That should be correct. I think that's right. Okay. All right. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging around. Thanks you for the donos that will help us buy stuff. And hey, if you're a sub, why don't you take your beautiful little emotes and post this little message in Rob's chat, because everyone loves this message. It's a lot of fun. I have fun with it. And if you're not already, follow me on social media. Like I said, we are simul streaming on YouTube and Twitch. I want to add the TikTok to that, so follow me on TikTok would be great, but I have to hit 1,000 followers first, and that'll make it so I can have that available to me. But in the meantime, we'll see you guys Friday. Have a wonderful day. Also, see you on Only Zot's stream tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be singing karaoke and other stuff and shooting the shit. Bye.
Amazing. That is amazing. 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 Isn't that amazing? That is amazing. 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 That is amazing. 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 Isn't that amazing? That is amazing.
Made some serious mistakes. Did some fucked up stuff.
This is some guy, Rob Russo,
Okay.
some
No one
leftist
would
based in
deny
Canada.
this.
I was turned on to this sick individual, and I found this.
Dimitri, thank you for the gifted tier 1 sub, and thank you, Mark Monkey, for the raid. I appreciate that, Mark. Welcome, Raiders.
You can count on
Bring it
me
on in
and
here.
that good old
Thank you.
Rob.